Welcome back into another Madden 21 video I have for you guys here today. Now today I'm kind of continuing the series where I keep combining teams. Today's video, I combined every team in each division, and we're going to simulate and see which division wins the Super Bowl. But before I get into the rosters, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and if you like watching Madden 21 franchise content, it would mean a lot to me if you could hit that subscribe button down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video in particular, I'd also really appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. So of course we are the Eagles. I am an Eagles fan, as you can tell by the jersey. Clearly the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the entire NFL. It's not even a question. But let's go ahead and talk about the rosters. I'm going to go over each of them pretty briefly. So let's start out here with the NFC East team. Dak Prescott is the starting quarterback. He's the best quarterback in this division. He's an 87 overall. Sadly, though, he is out the rest of the season in real life. That really is very unfortunate. Injuries are turned off, so that doesn't matter. At running back, we have Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott as the number 1 and 2 option there. Honestly, I didn't actually mess with the fullback of like any team. Fullbacks really don't do anything in simulations. I'm sorry. There is actually one team where I went out and got a fullback, but for the most part, I feel like the backup running back is just going to be the fullback anyway. And most backup running backs are at least a pretty good fullback. Like, for example, Zeke is probably in the 80s as a fullback, so I'm good with him just starting there. At wide receiver, though, Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin, and Golden Tate are the number 1, 2, and 3 receivers. At tight end, we have the Eagles duo, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Left tackle is going to be Tyron Smith. This offensive line is probably the best offensive line in this entire roster right now. Zach Martin at left guard. Center is Jason Kelsey. Right guard is Brandon Brooks. Right tackle is Lane Johnson. Most of these guys are from the Eagles, and that makes me very sad because the Eagles don't have a good offensive line in real life. It is so upsetting that these guys are hurt. You know, like Brandon Brooks is injured. Lane Johnson is injured. Jason Kelsey is still good. But man, this season for the Eagles has been such pain so far this year. But Brandon Graham is going to be the starting left end. At right end, we have DeMarcus Lawrence. Also, Chase Young's on the team. Maybe he can rotate in every once in a while. At defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox, Matthew Ioannidis, and Jonathan Allen are going to be the 3 D tackles there. Blake Martinez, sadly, is starting on this team. 77 overall outside linebacker. The linebackers in this division aren't great. They're definitely not bad. Most of them came from the Cowboys. Leighton Vander Esch is the middle linebacker, 81 overall. Right outside linebacker, Jalen Smith, 80 overall for him. The corners are actually pretty good. Kendall Fuller, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, all very good corners for their respective teams. And at free safety, we have Logan Ryan. At strong safety, we have Landon Collins. So that is the team for the NFC East. You know, the NFC East sucks. Like, they're the worst division in the NFL right now by far. But each team has like a handful of really solid players on it. So if you combine all the rosters together, you get one really good team, actually. The NFC North is up next. So I chose the Packers. I didn't really explain this, but I just chose the team in first place in each of these divisions to put the roster on. So Aaron Rodgers is going to be the starting quarterback. At running back, they have Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones, a very lethal 2-headed monster there. At receiver, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, a group of 4 amazing receivers. These guys are all super good. At tight end, we have Kyle Rudolph and TJ Hawkinson. Left tackle, David Bakhtiari. He might be the highest rated tackle in this entire game. He's a 96. He's pretty insane. Left guard is Elgton Jenkins. Center is Frank Ragnow. Right guard, a bit out of position, is Corey Linsley. And then right tackle is Charles Leno Jr. At left end, they have Kenny Clark. Of course, he's normally a defensive tackle. I just moved him over a little bit just to get him playing on this D-line. Akeem Hicks is the starting right end. Defensive tackle is Michael Pierce. In a 3-4, we don't really need more than 1 defensive tackle in simulation, so he should be good there. At left outside linebacker, they have Khalil Mack, of course, a 97 overall. Zadarius Smith is technically a backup on this team, which is insane. At middle linebacker, Eric Kendricks and Roquan Smith, 2 very talented linebackers there. Right outside linebacker is a defensive end, moved up, Daniil Hunter. He is going to be an edge rusher on this team. At cornerback, they have Jair Alexander, Kyle Fuller, Desmond Trufant, and Justin Coleman. At free safety, Eddie Jackson from the Bears, and then strong safety, Harrison Smith and Adrian Amos. So this defense is very good. You know, every once in a while, I look over at my webcam and I see a glare from my ring light on my glasses. I hope it's not super annoying for you guys. But now, arguably the best division in football is the NFC West. So Russell Wilson is going to be the starting quarterback. This team is disgusting. At running back, we have Chris Carson and Raheem Mostert. This is the team I actually got a fullback from, Kyle Juszczyk, as the starting fullback in an 87. At wide receiver, we have DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, DK Metcalf. At tight end, it's George Kittle. So this offense is insane. There are so many options for Russell Wilson, to throw the ball off to. At left tackle, we have Trent Williams. Now, the interior of this offensive line isn't really that good. Laken Tomlinson, Weston Richburg, Mike Iupati, none of those guys are bad by any means, but they're definitely a lot worse than the tackles. Mike McGlinchey is the right tackle, 85. 95 overall. At left end, we have Chandler Jones moving down from outside linebacker. Of course, this is a 4-3 as the Seahawks, and Chandler Jones is on a 3-4 team with the Cardinals. At right end, we do have Nick Bosa, though. So this defensive end duo is going to be so good. And then at defensive tackle, we have the best player in the entire NFL, Aaron Donald, Eric Armstead as well on this team. At left outside linebacker, it's Fred Warner. Middle linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Right outside linebacker, KJ Wright. At cornerback, we have Jalen Ramsey, Richard Sherman, and Shaquille Griffin. Free safety is Budda Baker. Strong safety, Jamal Adams. This defense is a 99 overall. This defense is ridiculous. Now we're moving on to the NFC South. So there's one position group in particular on this team that is ridiculously good. I definitely think it is the most talented and the deepest position group probably in this entire roster, and I'm sure you guys know what it is. But right now, we have Tom Brady at quarterback. He's a 95 overall. Of course, he's insanely good. He doesn't really age. You guys know how Tom Brady goes. At running back, we have Christian McCaffrey. This offense is way too unfair. Alvin Kamara is also on this team as the number 2 running back, and then this position group is gross. Receiver, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley. The worst receiver on this team is an 88 overall in Calvin Ridley. That is insane. Michael Thomas and Julio Jones, I feel like should not be able to be on the same team. I don't know. That's just me. Also, Michael Thomas is a 98. Did his overall go down? Because I swore he was a 99 at some point, right? I don't know what happened there. Maybe his overall just went down, you know, throughout the season so far. But anyway, this receiving group is way too good. At tight end, we have Jared Cook, Rob Gronkowski, and OJ Howard. At left tackle, it's Teron Armstead. Left guard, Ali Marpet. Center, Alex Mack. Right guard, a bit out of position again, but Ryan Jensen, very good there. And then right tackle is Ryan Ramczyk. Also, Tristan Wirfs, honorable mention. He's a really good rookie right now. 82 overall for him. At left end, we have Cam Jordan. At right end, it's Ndamukong Suh. The defensive tackles are Grady Jarrett and Vita Vea. Left outside linebacker is Shaq Barrett. Middle linebackers, Levante David, Deion Jones, and Devin White. So much athleticism among those 3 guys. Right outside linebacker is JPP. Also, Brian Burns is on this team. I think I had Brian Burns starting. I don't know if JPP will get substituted in or what, but anyway, Brian Burns can definitely play outside linebacker in a 3-4. At cornerback, we have Marshawn Lattimore, Carlton Davis, and Jamel Dean. Dante Jackson's also on this team, so a good group of very young cornerbacks. At free safety, it's Marcus Williams. Strong safety is Malcolm Jenkins. So this team is really solid. I think this is going to be the NFC team who makes it into the Super Bowl because this team is so stacked. Moving on to the AFC East here, we have Josh Allen at starting quarterback, 82 overall for him. At running back, it's Devin Singletary. So this group of running backs isn't that great. Sony Michel is also on this team. I could have gotten James White as the number 3, but I kind of just went after a number 1 and a number 2 running back for each of these teams. At receiver, we have Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Devontae Parker, and John Brown. Tight end is going to be Mike Gesicki. Left tackle is Isaiah Wynn. Left guard is Joe Thuney. Center is David Andrews, and the right guard also from the Patriots, Shaq Mason. Right tackle is Deion Dawkins. He's normally a left tackle. I just moved him over here. At left end, we have Chase Winovich. This defensive line isn't really that great. Jerry Hughes at right end, he's an 82. Defensive tackle, Ed Oliver, Quinnen Williams. So probably the weakest point of this team. This team's definitely not bad, but their defensive line isn't too good. At left outside linebacker, we have Kyle Van Noy. Middle linebacker, Dante Hightower and Tremaine Edmonds. Right outside linebacker is CJ Mosley and Matt Milano. Cornerbacks are really good on this team. Stephon Gilmore, Tre'Davious White, Byron Jones, J.C. Jackson, Xavier Howard. Teams should not be able to pass the football against this group of players. And then free safety is Devin McCourty and Micah Hyde. Strong safety, Jordan Poyer and Marcus May. So this secondary is insane. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be representing the AFC North here with Lamar Jackson starting at quarterback, 92 overall. Running back is Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon. James Conner is also still on the team. He'll be the number 3 running back. At wide receiver, we have Odell Beckham Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, and Jarvis Landry, along with Tyler Boyd making his way over here. The tight end trio is really good. Mark Andrews, Austin Hooper, and Eric Ebron. At left tackle, it's Ronnie Stanley. At left guard, Joel Bitonio. Center is Marquise Pouncey. Right guard is David DeCastro, and right tackle is Orlando Brown Jr. Left end is Calais Campbell. Right end is Cam Hayward. Defensive tackles are Brandon Williams, Geno Atkins, Tyson Alualu, and then also Stephon Tuitt's on this team. And you should still definitely get some snaps on this team. At left outside linebacker, we have TJ Watt. Middle linebacker, Avery Williamson, who was just recently traded to the Steelers. Vince Williams and Devin Bush. And then right outside linebacker is Myles Garrett, 97 overall. Him and TJ Watt, very lethal duo on the same team. Cornerbacks are Marlon Humphrey, Denzel Ward, Marcus Peters, and Mike Hilton. Free safety is Minkah Fitzpatrick. Strong safety is going to be Jesse Bates. And that is this roster. This team is also super solid. Now, I personally think this is going to be the team representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. We have Patrick Mahomes starting at quarterback. At running back, it's Josh Jacobs and Austin Austin Eckler. Wide receivers are Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, and Courtland Sutton. At tight end, Travis Kelce and Darren Waller. That's a gross duo at tight end there. At left tackle, it's Mitchell Schwartz. Left guard, Richie Incognito. Center, Rodney Hudson. Right guard is Kalichi Osemele. And then right tackle is Brian Abulaga with Trent Brown as a backup. At left end, we have Joey Bosa. At right end, we have Von Miller and Melvin Ingram. That is an insane group of defensive ends. At defensive tackle, it's Chris Jones and Linval Joseph. Left outside linebacker, Kenneth Murray. Middle linebacker, Alexander Johnson. Right outside linebacker, Nick Kwiatkowski. At cornerback, it's Chris Harris, Casey Hayward, AJ Bouye, Desmond King. A lot of guys from the Chargers there. At free safety, Justin Simmons. Strong safety, Tyrann Mathieu, Derwin James, and Kareem Jackson. 3 incredibly talented safeties. This team has a lot of depth. I definitely think this team will make it into the Super Bowl. And last but not least, we have the AFC South. Ryan Tannehill is going to be the quarterback here for this team. Derrick Henry and Marlon Mack are the running backs. Receivers, we have Brandon Cooks, T.Y. Hilton, and Will Fuller. At tight end, it's Trey Burton and Jonnu Smith. Left tackle is Laramie Tunsil. Left guard is Quentin Nelson. 95 overall for him. At center, it's Brandon Linder. Right guard, it is Roger Saffold. And right tackle, Taylor Lewan. The left end is J.J. Watt. The right end is Jeffrey Simmons. Defensive tackles are DeForest Buckner and Daquan Jones. Left outside linebacker, Jadeveon Clowney. There is so much middle linebacker depth on this team. Darius Leonard, Miles Jack, Benardic McKinney, Rashawn Evans, Jayon Brown, all very good. But Darius Leonard and Miles Jack will be the top 2. Right outside linebacker then is Harold Landry. At cornerback, we have Adoree Jackson, Bradley Roby, Kenny Moore as the top 3 guys. At free safety, it's Kevin Byard, and then at strong safety, it is Justin Reed. So those are all the teams. So my early predictions, I kind of already alluded to it. I think it's going to be the Buccaneers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but let's go ahead and simulate and let's see if any of these teams don't make the playoffs. That'll be very interesting. Honestly, I feel like if any team isn't going to make the Super Bowl, it's going to be the Eagles. I don't know. I just think that's going to happen, but let's go ahead and simulate. So this is already pretty nutty. The Eagles went 13-3. And they did not get a first round bye. Also, this division was awful. Aside from the Eagles, of course, that was expected. We took everyone who is even remotely good, pretty much, from the 3 other teams and put them on the Eagles, so it makes sense. But let's go over the standings of every division. Let's kind of see if anyone went undefeated. The Seahawks actually went undefeated. The Chiefs and the Titans also 15-1. That is insane. So the AFC North, the Steelers pretty easily win this division, but the Bengals actually did really well. 9-7. The Jaguars also went 9-7. Titans 15-1, of course. Patriots 12-4. The Bills don't even win their division. How did the Patriots do so well? That's kind of insane. The Chiefs very easily win the AFC West, 15-1 for them. The Packers 12-4. 3 teams from this division, though, make the playoffs. The Buccaneers 13-3, the Panthers also in the playoffs, 8-8 for them, and then of course the Eagles 13-3. NFC West 16-0 for the Seahawks, the Cardinals 8-8, and that is going to be it then for every team. All right, so the Bills did not win their division, which is very interesting. Let me check out the stats. I kind of just want to see who led the league in all these categories and whatnot. So Dak Prescott seemed to, have had a pretty solid season. But let's go to the entire NFL. Who led the league in passing? I feel like it should be Tom Brady or like Patrick Mahomes maybe, but Tom Brady has ridiculous weapons. It's going to be Cam Newton leading the entire NFL in passing yards. But let's check out touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill had 50. Patrick Mahomes had 43. Tom Brady had 41, but not that many yards, to be honest. Interesting there. I really thought Tom Brady was going to crush the NFL and probably win MVP. Rushing-wise, Saquon is going to win the rushing title, 1,460 yards for him. 14 touchdowns is quite a bit, but Aaron Jones is going to lead in that category with 16. Who had the most receiving yards? It's going to go to Anthony Miller with 1,253. What about receiving touchdowns? T.Y. Hilton had 15. Tyreek Hill also had 15. Michael Thomas as well with that same number. Who had the most catches? Zach Ertz had 104. Lee Smith had 94 for over 1,000 yards. Okay. The worst offensive lineman out of these teams seems to be Laramie Tunsil. He let up 10 sacks. I think that's the most. Unless some of the players are not accounted for here. I don't know. But Laramie Tunsil let up 10 sacks. Defensively, then, 143 tackles for Patrick Queen. We're not going to really be up there for any of these just because it doesn't really matter what the overall the linebackers are. Like, any starting linebacker has an opportunity to get like 140 tackles. Doesn't really matter. Tackles for loss, though, 21 for Aaron Donald, 19 for David Irving, John Simon. Okay, well, Grady Jarrett also had 19. Ed Oliver had 18. We have 23.5 sacks for Von Miller, 14.5 for Myles Garrett, 14 for DeForest Buckner, 13 for Aaron Donald and Vita Vea, 11.5 for Eric Armstead and JJ Watt. Okay, so these are pretty disgusting numbers. Interceptions, we have 7 for William Jackson. He wasn't even on one of these teams. Okay, well, Bobby Wagner got 6. Eric Kendricks also was 6. Micah Hyde gets 5. Joe Schobert, he doesn't matter because he's not on any of these teams. Dylan Cole, Jerome Baker, all right, Trey Waynes. Fred Warner did really well. Marlon Humphrey, Marshawn Lattimore, Stephon Gilmore all did super well. Let's go ahead and check out who won MVP. It was probably Ryan Tannehill, and it was. He had a really crazy season. He had 50 touchdowns. That's kind of nuts. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Ryan Tannehill. Let's check out NFC Offensive Player of the Year. It goes to Dak Prescott. All right. The best defensive player on one of these teams was Von Miller. I feel like he should have probably won Defensive Player of the Year, but it's fine. NFC Defensive Player of the Year is Fred Warner, and then Bobby Wagner at number 2. We don't really have any rookies on these teams right now. Maybe Defensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC. I know we had Kenneth Murray. You know, he's at number 6 there. Okay, there's a couple guys sprinkled in here. But no one's super noteworthy. But let's go ahead and advance by until we get a matchup between these two teams. And then I will actually hop in and spectate it from above. So the Eagles are going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's awesome. Let me check out the rest of the schedule. I can just shift my user onto another team. But let's go ahead and check out if anyone's going up against each other. So the Bills and the Chiefs are Steelers and Titans, Buccaneers and Packers. I'm going to switch to the Buccaneers. Might as well just remain in the NFC. I don't know why. There's not really a reason for it. All right, so 2 Goliaths going up against one another. 95 overall Buccaneers against, I don't know what the Packers overall is up to at this point. They're at 94. Okay, so this is going to be a nutty matchup. Let's see who's going to win. I think it's going to be the Buccaneers. I don't know if I'm going to have any user influence over this one. I actually didn't hop in. I'm very stupid. I meant to. All right. Well, I'll hop into the conference championship. The Packers are going to win. I hope the Panthers didn't win. I'm hoping it's 2 of the teams I created here. Okay, so it's going to be the Packers and the Seahawks, and then the Titans and the Chiefs. Let's go ahead and hop onto the Chiefs. I didn't really do anything with the AFC yet in this video, like user-wise. So let's go ahead, switch over to the Chiefs, and then we will be sure to hop into this game, and then I will also 100% be hopping into the Super Bowl. Okay, 2 15-1 teams going up against each other. The Titans are in 93, the Chiefs are in 95. Let's go ahead, hop into this game. I'm not going to actually play anything. I'm just going to let this one completely simulate out, and we're going to see who's going to win. The Titans have an early lead here, 7-3, 10-3 now, 10-6. Pretty low scoring game at the moment, 13-10. It is snowy, so maybe the conditions are kind of affecting the score right now. 20-17 though. The Chiefs are going to take the lead 24-20. Titans take it right back, and the Titans are going to advance to the Super Bowl 24-20. So both of my Super Bowl predictions are going to not come true. It's going to be the Titans, and then they're facing off against either the Seahawks or the Packers. I'm going to hop into that game if I'm able to. I think I should be able to do that. I don't think the game happened yet. Okay, so let's see if the Seahawks can remain undefeated. They're also almost a 99. The Seahawks are a 97. The Packers are a 94. Let's hop straight in and let's see who's going to win this one. Okay, so the Packers are going to score first, 3-0. The Seahawks tie it up, 10-3 now. They got a quick touchdown after that. The Packers are driving down the field 10-6. Seahawks also driving 24-6 now. A couple quick scores for Seattle. 31-6. I definitely think the Seahawks have this one. The Seahawks have the best defense right now in the NFL, so it makes sense that the Packers can't do anything. 38-6. That was not even remotely close. A 15-1 team take on a 16-0 team. All right, well, 97 overall Seattle Seahawks going up against a 93 overall Tennessee Titans. This should be a pretty crazy game. I think the Seahawks are going to win, though. They are already very blessed in simulation, and with this dominant of a roster, I really can't see them losing. Okay, so the Titans are actually going to score first, 7-0. They get through the defense, 10-0, 17-0. The Titans defense is shutting out this offense right now, 20-0, 27-0. Finally, the Seahawks got on the board, 27-7, but I think it's definitely way too late. 27-14. This game was not close at all. The score makes this game look a lot closer. The Titans were pretty much in control this entire time, so the Seahawks cannot go undefeated, and it turns out that the AFC South is the best division in football, according to Madden. The Titans are also very, very cheesy in this game. Of course, playbooks most likely played a factor into this. I didn't go through and change everybody's playbooks because I just kind of wanted to use the natural playbooks of each of these teams just to kind of see what happened. Turns out the Titans are just ridiculous in simulation. Of course, they did have a great team. Each one of these teams was amazing. I think at that point, it probably just came down to playbooks and schemes and whatnot. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Where every